First of all, I want to welcome everyone to our first Hill Country Middle School Cougar Club meeting. It's nice to see everyone, and hopefully this will be informative for everyone. And of course, anytime you guys have questions, feel free to either write your question in the chat room or possibly just let us know, and we can try to answer any questions you might have along the way. I just wanted to, for any of you guys that don't know me, I wanted to take a second to introduce myself. My name is Naveen Gowda, and I'm the president for the Cougar Club for this year. And I have one student, one boy in 7th grade at Hill Country, and then I also have two other boys at Cedar Creek in 5th grade and 4th grade. That's a little bit, and later on we'll introduce all the board members so you guys can put faces to names. Just going into the updates, I just wanted to update everyone about Hill Country Hello. I think it was a great success this year. It was a little different from how we've typically done it, but I want to give a good shout out to Maureen McPhee and Jennifer LaRue for helping us with the Hill Country Hello. I think at the end we ended up having about 3 drive-bys to pick up supplies for school and athletic wear and spirit wear, and it went very well. We do still have some leftover supplies at school, at the office, for anyone who missed the drive-by days. To get those, you could just call the school and let them know that you're on your way and pick them up from there. And I don't have anything else right now that I wanted to discuss, except that we're just really excited for this new year to begin, and looking forward to meeting everyone virtually and hopefully in person soon. And let us know in any way that as a booster club that we can support our parents and our kids and our teachers. With that being said, I think let's go ahead and go on to some of the board reports. Jill Williamson is our treasurer, and I'm going to hand it over to her to give us a treasurer report.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Naveen. So I just have a few brief things to report regarding treasurer things. First of all, we've been busy with teacher and staff classroom startup reimbursements. It's something nice that the Cougar Club does for teachers at the beginning of the year. It started mid-August and it continues through September 30th. So it's just a way to help those teachers preparing for their school year. And of course, we're so grateful for all our teachers for all they are doing to prepare, and we're happy that we're able to help with that. The second thing, the Friends of Hill Country campaign is happening now, and we are currently at about 60% of our goal. So thank you to everyone who has contributed to that to this point. And a detailed report of our budget is available. I normally would bring those to our in-person meetings. So if anyone would like that, please let me know. Thank you.
Next, I'm going to introduce Nicole Marusi. She's our Vice President of Finance, and she's going to tell us a little bit about our fundraising campaign. And Nicole, whenever you're ready, let me know, and I'd be happy to share our video.
Thank you so much, Naveen. Absolutely. If you can screen share that video, that would be fantastic. We took a different approach this year, given the circumstances and everything that's going on within the world and beyond. We wanted to just bring a little bit of spirit to the community, even though we're all learning from different environments right now. And so we just hope that y'all can kind of gravitate to what we try to put together and get excited for the start of the school year, and then support us through our one and only fundraising campaign, which is the Friends of Hill Country, as Jill had mentioned. And so just take a peek and see what you think, and then I'll give you a little bit more details afterwards.
Okay. I'm going to try.
We're trying.
My
This is
screen.
all new.
Oh, Amanda, it says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Of course I did. Yeah. Of course I did. I'm working on it. Hold on. Start share. Do you want me to give it to you, Jill? Yes.
No, can you give it to me, Amanda?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm going to share mine. Yep, I did. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anybody know how to do this?
I wonder if you make me a co-host, if that would allow me to share.
Yeah. Your email address?
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience, everybody.
Yeah, sorry. Now I have to do that. Oh, I know how to do it. Hold on. Got it.
Okay. Well, while
Hey guys, I have my fifth grader telling me you need to click on participants
Yeah.
and then click on the person's name, and then you make them a host through that.
Thank you, Kathy.
I think Vivian, I got it to you.
okay.
Thank you, elementary or whichever one, junior high people.
It was elementary.
Okay. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Here's the video.
Hello, Hill Country. I am so excited to be back learning. And while things look a little different this year, two things are still the same. Our Cougar spirit is as big as ever, and our Cougar spirit is contagious. Friends of Hill Country, also known as the Cougar Dash to the Students, is Hill Country's one and only fundraising campaign. And what's so great about this campaign is that every single dollar reaches every Cougar, from student enrichment like library resources to student support and campus improvements.
Thank you for sharing that. And so as you see here, we're really trying to bring some school spirit for everybody out there, and just to try to support us in any way. $1 is great. We're really about reaching campus participation this year. We'd love to get 50%, and we'll just keep updating that number as it goes and grows. And if you have any questions, Cathy York is also helping with Friends of Hill Country. You can either reach out to herself or me with any questions of where the money goes, why we need it, how it continues to support campus improvements, teacher enrichment, student enrichment. And again, we just really appreciate any level of donation at any amount is greatly appreciated. So please reach out with any questions or concerns that you might have, and we appreciate all of your Cougar spirit.
Thank you, Nicole. And then I'd like to introduce Amanda Pettit. She's the Vice President of Parent Program. And I'll let her.
Hi, everyone. Can y'all hear me? Yes, yes. So VP of Parent Programs, of course, that would include, you know, happy hours and getting together, along with a bunch of other things like getting people to help with the Xeroxing, which we can't do because we can't go on campus. So we are in the very early stages of this, extremely early, but we're talking about getting hosts to host 8 to 10 people in their backyards, social distancing, especially for the new families, to allow them to get to know people. It has to be hard right now to break into that. So again, very early stages, but if you have any interest in coming to one or hosting one, let me know. I'll put my email in the chat and feel free to email me. And then we'll also do a shout out through our newsletter and stuff later. But definitely wanted people to know that that is coming down the line. I did one recently for another nonprofit, and it was fabulous. Never felt like I was in danger or anything like that. So it was great. And I look forward to getting some parents together at Hill Country Middle School.
Thank you, Amanda. And next up, Lynn Jordan is our Vice President of Student Programs. Hi, Lynn. Sorry, we can't hear you.
Hi. Oh, I unmuted myself. I don't know if I need to be unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Hi. Sorry, I'm in the car, but pulled over to do a quick video so y'all can put a face to the name. I am VP of Student Programs, which, like Amanda said, also is a little downplayed this year given the circumstances. Usually we have dances and maybe a sock hop in February if things turn out, you know, start to turn up. But right now we're just after Hill Country Hello that Maureen and Jennifer LaRue put on and helped with. We're just kind of really taking guidance from the district as to what we can do as far as getting students together and safely, and so there's nothing really more to report. But
thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Next, Alice is our VP of Communications. So if you guys have been getting all the newsletters and emails, thank you to Alice for doing all this. Alice, do you have anything you want to talk about today?
Hi, I'm Alice Meadows, and I've been part of the board forever. I have a senior now, and my youngest is in 7th grade. And welcome to everybody who is new to Hill Country. We're so excited to have you. I will be sending out newsletters, updating the website, posting on Instagram and Facebook. Everything is updated. If you like us on Facebook and Instagram, you'll get the instant updates. But otherwise, we'll send out a newsletter probably every other Monday. There's not a whole lot of action happening right now except for Cougar Dash. But that information will be updated, and we'll have a list of all of the people who have donated on our website. And we have a really great amount so far, so thank you so much to everyone who has donated. And other than that, just tune into our website, www.hcmscougarclub.com, and look for newsletters in your inbox on Mondays. Thanks.
Thanks, Alice. Tera Ferguson is our Vice President of Digital Commerce. So she usually helps us with the online store and all the orders. Tera, do you have anything you'd like to report for this meeting?
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, just wanted to give everyone a heads up that the athletic store is closed for the moment, just as we try to get inventory under control again. We will send another announcement out. I know that football and volleyball are underway, and hopefully everyone has their supplies for that. It will open back up for folks to add to orders or to make new orders of PE wear as necessary, as well as what spirit wear we have left. But that's not going to happen for at least another week or so.
Great, thank you. And then I'd like to introduce our president-elect for next year, Erin Ashcroft. Erin, you want to just wave? I don't know if you have, do you have anything you'd like to report?
No, not at all. I just wanted to introduce myself.
Okay.
My job really is just to follow Naveen this year and learn the ropes. So I might be a little unprepared next year because it's such an unusual year this year. But I'm also here just to assist anybody on the board or anybody in the Booster Club who has questions. I have an 8th grader, an 11th grader, and a 5th grader. So I look forward to meeting you all in person, hopefully, and reach out to me if you have any questions.
Great, thank you. I think that's covers pretty much everything from the board. We do have, we were supposed to have Mrs. Sullivan and Miss Danielle Wiest, our 6th grade counselor today, as our speakers. Unfortunately, Mrs. Sullivan won't be able to join us right now. She said that she might be able to pop in towards the end. But right now we have Mrs. Wiest, who's available. She's our 6th grade counselor. Miss Wiest, do you want to take over?
Yes, I'm happy to jump in here since Miss Sullivan is unavailable. Just to kind of let you guys know, I know as parents, you guys cannot come to the campus, which is bizarre for us, not seeing you guys in and out and volunteering around the campus. But what I will tell you is the kids that we have here are really doing amazing. After the first day, I got several parent comments about the kids had a wonderful day. It was everything that they expected. We are very excited about the possibility of having more students on the 21st. We miss the hallways being, crowded with students and seeing smiles on their faces. And I know even with the mask, I can see smiles because the eyes are, turning up. So we just want the kids back on campus. We want them, learning in person. And it's exciting to have them here. We were here a week or 2 before the kids got here. So when they got here, it changed the whole energy of the campus, which was really great. So we're thrilled, and our teachers are doing an amazing job trying to teach in person and remote at the same time. It's quite challenging. I've been in several classrooms, either as the person overseeing the classes because the teachers are remote, or also in the classes where they're teaching in person and remote. And they are going above and beyond. And I honestly could not be more proud of our staff for the efforts that they are doing and the time and energy that it's taking to create lessons that are both effective for both in-person and remote students. So do y'all have any questions for me about what's happening on campus? I mean, the kids are doing really great.
And y'all can either unmute yourself or put it in the chat, either one.
With regard to passing periods, are you doing staggered passing periods, or how is that being managed, on campus right now?
So right now we have 10-minute passing periods. And with just 25% of the kids on campus, it is not a problem. And the kids are getting to their classes very quickly. So then they have quite a bit of time to sit and write their assignments down, which we're encouraging all sixth graders to do, to get in that habit. And so the kids have been very mindful and respectful of the rules and the guidelines that we have in place. I think I've only had to remind one student to put their mask on, and it was because they took a drink and forgot. So they've been great.
I think there's a couple questions through the chat. The first question is there a seating chart for lunch?
There is not a seating chart for lunch. However, when you walk into the cafeteria tables are spread out quite around the cafeteria. And then we have green dots that the kids are supposed to sit on, and that is how we've social distanced them. And so they have to be sitting on a green dot. Of course, they don't have their mask on while they're eating. And then for the cafeteria lines, we have blue dots where they're supposed to stand in the line so that they're socially distanced. And they'll have their mask on through the lunch line.
And then is there time to sanitize the tables between grades at the lunchroom?
Great question, which kind of goes back to Nicole's question in terms of passing periods. Because there's 10-minute passing periods, the way that we've been doing it, because the desks have to be sanitized after a class leaves. And so because they're early to the next class, especially in the sixth grade hallway, they are standing outside of the door until the teacher in the class gets all desks sanitized before they're allowed to come in. And then the same thing with the cafeteria, all of the tables and everything are cleaned in between the lunches.
The next question we have is by Kay Suttlefield. Will the students dress out for PE this semester?
That is still being discussed. Until we have more protocols in place for locker rooms and that kind of thing, at this point, where we are right now, no, but it could change.
You, next question is the rumor correct that the board may delay the rest of in-person students beginning on Monday, the 21st?
I think we are all waiting to see what happens on Thursday. As far as we are concerned, we're going with the plan that was sent out earlier, where if you selected in person on the August Google form, then we're expecting you on Monday, and we're expecting our teachers to be on campus to teach those kids until we're told otherwise.
Next question is from Nancy Ali. Have there been any COVID cases at Hill Country Middle School since we've come back?
No, ma'am.
And then what percentage of the HCMS student body will be returning on the 21st?
Ooh, I don't have the percentage. I think the number that was given to me was we would be anywhere between 650 and 700 is the number of kids that we're expecting.
Okay. And then Amber, do you have a question?
I sure do. Thank you. One, I appreciate everything you all are doing at the school. Thank you. My son is part of the 25% that returns, and he's in football, and currently he's having to carry his rather large bags around all day. Is there another option for them?
You know, that's a good question, and I have seen the bags outside of classrooms. I am happy to look into that and see if there's another option.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will look into that.
We have a very important question from a student as relayed by the parent. Do they still get Chick-fil-A and the pizza option at lunch?
Yes. And that is important.
Next question. How many teachers at HCMS are teaching remote with children in the building? And will this continue on the 21st?
So we have, in terms of specific number, I don't have a very specific number because it's staff. But I want to say we have about 18 teachers that are teaching remote at this time. And the last we were told is that all teachers that were remote would be back on campus per the direction from the superintendent and the school board. So that is what we're expecting until we're told otherwise. And of course, there are certain situations where it may be, you know, one may have a true medical issue where they can't come back. But all of that is a personnel issue that is being handled through the HR.
And then I'm going to kind of segue a little bit. I think that covers most of the questions from the parents. But one of the things, if I would like for you to address, is maybe some of the emotional things that are going on, especially with the sixth graders starting middle school, but also to kind of touch upon the Instagram bullying that we've been seeing lately. And are you, as far as how are we going to manage this with the kids? Are we talking to them, or what kind of things are being set up for that?
Well, as we all know, this is kind of an unusual year. Usually by now, we've already gone into the classroom and we've done a lesson with the kids on bullying and how to report it using our quick tip report. We've talked about, you know, kindness and treating people with respect. And unfortunately, we haven't gotten to do that yet. And so I'm not aware of a lot of Instagram stuff going on. So if somebody could kind of shed some light on that for me, that would be great. But in terms of what we do here at school, we do guidance lessons. We're constantly talking with kids. They can come in and talk with any counselor that, you know, if they have a concern or a question. And so from that perspective, guidance has been different. We haven't gotten into the classrooms yet. We will be getting into the classrooms. I'm just not sure when. We really want the kids here on campus so that we can actually have some personal communication with them. The ones that are here currently, I feel like we've really gotten to know them pretty well already, just because we have such a small number on campus. And so, you know, I'm looking forward to having more kids here so that I can get to know them and let them know that we have supports on campus for them. In terms of remote, at the end of last year, we did do some guidance through Zoom. It's just not quite the same. Trying to work with small groups or work with individuals through an online, it just is not as personal as we would like for it to be. What was your other question?
Well, I think, you know, it was brought up in Miss Sullivan's newsletter last week about some of the Instagram sites that are up where the kids, the Hill Country Tea, I think is the name of.
Oh, gotcha.
And how is that handled by the school in any way? Or?
So anytime there's like Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or any of those social media outlets that are off campus, the only time really that the school gets involved is when it becomes an issue at school. So if it's causing a disruption, if it's causing a kid to not want to come to school, if it's impacting, you know, the learning or social and emotional of kids on campus. Otherwise, we try not to get involved into what people do on their private time on the weekend, etc. I mean, we tell the kids that too. You know, if you post something out there, just be careful, because at some point it may become a school issue, and it becomes a school issue if it's impacting kids here at school or if it's causing a disruption in the learning environment. And in terms of, I think the other thing that you said was transition. It has been a hard transition for our sixth graders. I will be honest, in terms of the workload. The length of day, I don't know what occurred at the elementaries last year in the spring, but for these kids to be on Zoom from 8:35 to 4 o'clock is a very long day. And most of our teachers are teaching bell to bell. They're teaching the entire class period, including advisory. And so, you know, that has been quite an adjustment for many of our sixth graders. And it's hard for them to be in front of a screen that long. It's hard for them to try and keep up with all of the work. They're using programs that maybe they're not familiar with from the elementary school. I know our sixth grade teachers have really tried to do a very step-by-step and guide them through the different programs that they're using. But some of our kiddos are having a hard time, and the parents are having a hard time because they have full-time jobs too. And so to have to be able to sit with their kids and make sure that they're getting what they need and turning assignments in and studying for this is quite challenging for many families. And we understand that. And that's part of why, you know, if we can just get them back to campus, we're happy to jump in and help these kids.
And I believe I've been getting emails from some of the teachers saying that they've opened some study periods in the morning. So if the students are having some difficulty with some of the classes and with the Zoom, that they can reach out to the teachers, correct?
Absolutely. And sometimes the teachers can work with them during advisory if we don't have something scheduled for the full 20 minutes. Sometimes it may be at the very end of class if they've dismissed the rest of the kids that they can ask a student to stay back and kind of work through something with them there. I know next week we're trying to plan on getting teachers back to doing morning tutorials for those that are on campus. So yes, I would say I feel like our teachers are very willing to work with students and help them in any way that they can.
I do have a comment from a parent that they appreciate the screen break days that was started. And I second that. I think it's been a nice break for my son to have those hour or 2 hours on Wednesday where they can kind of take a break from the screen has been really nice for them. So thank you for implementing that.
And the kids echo that same thing. When we ask the kids, they're like, no, those break days are wonderful. And I think a lot of times they're using that time also to get work completed. I know I have two at the high school and they love having that time to get work done for other classes.
I guess one of the things, if you don't mind talking about a little bit, is, you know, pre-COVID, I know just coming into middle school is a big change for the sixth graders. Is there anything you can talk to the parents as far as helping the kids with just that transition? Not just necessarily because of the COVID, you know.
Yeah, the transition to middle school is always an adjustment, and it's just extra challenging this year. I think probably the biggest thing that if the kids can do, if they can stay in the classes until they're dismissed, that's a big one. And getting in, like I've had kids that have come into class 10 minutes late. They've already missed so much. The teachers hit the ground running. So just, you know, if you're at home, setting a bell or a reminder so that you are in class the full time, especially at the beginning. Getting the assignments completed in a timely manner. You know, I think for some, this is the first time that they've had this amount of homework and in classwork. I know in science, most of what they do is in class. Very rarely is there homework unless they don't finish. So just, and then asking questions if they don't understand something, and emailing teachers if there's something that, if there's a resource they can't find, or if they have a question about something. We love getting emails from students. I had a student email me the other day if we could Zoom because he was having trouble with his Skyward login. And we are ready and willing to help any and all students with anything that they need. And so I think part of it is just having them reach out. But staying on top of their work for sure. And then they have tests in 6th grade, and science curriculum, I mean, many of you know, there's a lot of material with that science. And so knowing that they have a test, like today they have a test in science, they should have been studying, starting last week, because there's so much material. And I know the teachers have been doing reviews with them and that kind of thing, but just not waiting to the very last minute to study for a test. And using the materials that the teachers have provided. Most of the teachers really do a good job putting out reviews, having some quizzes or some Kahoots that they review with. And so just using the tools that the teachers have on their websites or have in Google Classroom is key, because they're really trying to give you as much information as you can to be successful.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions at this time? Can you, Ms. Weiss, just talk a little bit about like the emotional aspect for the kids? I know parents have been, you have the one set of kids that are in school, and then we have the remote kids, and how to help them with this and developing relationships with each other, because I know it's hard as 6th graders, especially when they come to middle school. They may not know, or they don't know the majority of the kids in their grade anymore. So it's a big adjustment, and how we can help them as parents, support them, and what's available through the school that we can do to support them.
Right. So I will say I'm going to talk two different groups, because the group that are on campus right now really have connected with each other, and you can see it in the cafeteria, you can see it in the classrooms. And so that's one of the reasons that we're excited about the next phase coming in on Monday, so that those kids also have that opportunity to build those relationships. And a lot of those relationships, are built just being in classes with students and doing, sitting next to someone, not really next, but close. And so just having that camaraderie and being with people that are in the same situation. And so, when I see the bell ring and people are going out to the buses and they're waiting for parents, I mean, there's a lot of, excitement and a lot of chatter. And so I feel like the ones that we have on campus right now have already kind of connected with people and are building relationships. The kids that are remote, it's more challenging. I don't know in terms of whether they're doing outside activities or whether they have been, at their home since March and not leaving the house. So, I think that is tricky. What we can do is we can set up, and the other counselors and I have talked about setting up some kind of friendship groups, some get to know you groups, especially for our new students who really came in and don't know anybody. They're new to the area, to try and help facilitate getting to know other people and that type of thing. And so we're happy to do that. We've also, for the new families, when I enrolled them, the parents filled out a Google form. And so I was able to share all of their information. So hopefully they've made connections outside of school as well, in terms of trying to get to know other new families. I know for them, it's really challenging because they came in and they have, they don't know anybody, they don't know other parents. And so we tried to at least connect all the new families together so that they had each other. But yes, if once the kids get back to campus, I'm happy to facilitate, social distance, of course, but some groups and some, opportunities for them to get to know each other. And those that stay remote, I'm happy to do that via Zoom as well. And so typically at this point in the year, what we do as we send out a needs assessment to the kids. We haven't talked about what date we're going to be sending that out, but based on the needs assessment, the kids identify what they need from us in terms of whether they want to be in a friendship group or whether they're feeling, anxious, and so that information is typically what we use to go and talk to kids and figure out, okay, you indicated that, you're feeling this way. What can we do to support you? And so, again, being an unusual year, we would have already done that, but we will be sending that out soon.
And does that go to all the sixth graders or all the kids?
It will go to all the kids, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And so each counselor gets their own information, so to keep it confidential.
And, we have another question. Are they still offering retesting, and how is that process working?
So the retesting is, we're still offering retesting. And then each teacher kind of has a different process. Some may have kids do test corrections. Some may require them to come in and meet with them either via Zoom or in person to kind of go over what they missed. But you would have to refer to each teacher's syllabus to look at what is required for that class, because I know sometimes math is a little bit different than maybe science.
Those are all the questions we have. Does anyone else have any other questions for Ms. Weiss before she leaves? Oh, here's one. I can't locate one of my kids' smart tags. What should he do?
So we are reprinting smart tags for kids. And so if she wanted to email Julie Lindley, Julie is the one that is printing all of the smart tags for kids that don't have them or can't locate them.
Our next question is, besides map testing, how are we keeping track of kids' progress?
That's a good question. So in terms of progress, we map testing, of course, but then teachers will be also communicating to us kids that are not making progress in their specific classes. For example, I checked in yesterday with our math teachers, and I have a list of kids' names that I need to follow up with and see, what we need to do to support them. They're not having much success. And so we're relying a lot on the teachers to communicate with us in addition to the map testing. But we also have what we call local benchmark testing. And that is also used as a measure to see their progress. And then the local benchmark, we put in what we call eduphoria, and we can look to see if there's a history of struggling with local benchmarks, or if it's just kind of a fluke situation. It was a one-time thing. And so we are monitoring kids that way as well.
So one of the things that we've all heard about is that the kids will be getting new iPads with keyboards. Is that true? And if so, when?
I have not heard that, so I can follow up on that for sure. That has not been in any of the meetings that I have been in, and there's been a lot, so, but I will follow up.
Okay. And then our next question is the school considering swivels to assist teachers with when students have to go remote?
I believe they looked into that, and at the time there weren't any available for purchase. So I know that they're ordering something similar for our staff, but as to when it's going to arrive, I have no idea.
Then will progress be tracked by on-person? Will progress also be tracked by on-person and remote learners to compare success and quality of each type of learning?
I'm having trouble hearing everything you said.
Will progress also be tracked by on-person, I think by in-person and remote learners, so that we can compare the success and quality of each type of learning?
So, okay, so you're asking, are we going to compare the progress of in-person versus remote?
Correct.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
That has not been brought up at all.
Then how will lunch seating change with the arrival of more students?
That's a good question. We're going to have to put more tables out. And, you know, right now we have 6 students sitting at a double cafeteria table, and we may have to increase that to maybe 8 in terms to fit everybody. It just depends on how many we have in each lunch, and we're going to have to look at the logistics of that. We've got several meetings scheduled to discuss how we're going to continue to implement social distancing, but at the same time, be able to fit everybody into the cafeteria.
Do you have any outdoor spaces that you use currently for lunches or as classroom?
We have some picnic tables outside, thanks to the Booster Club. And so we haven't really talked about that specifically yet. We've got several meetings in the next couple of days to plan for all of our students that want to be here arriving on the 21st. And so we definitely have some work to do between now and then.
Can kids choose to eat lunch outside?
If they eat lunch outside, one of the things that we have to work on is supervision. And so depending on how many people we have to supervise the kids at lunch will also determine whether we have outdoor seating for lunch.
And Holly Knoll just added that the new iPads should be arriving around October. And then it'll take a few weeks after that to start rolling them out, and iPads will have keyboards.
Nice. Thank you. I learned something.
I know I know on campus they're trying to limit the number of people outside of the students and teachers. Would the school consider having any volunteers come out to like supervise those outdoor lunch areas, et cetera, so that to provide some extra support to the school and also to allow opportunities for kids?
That's a great question, and I'm writing it down, Naveen, so that I can get clarification on that for you. What we've been told thus far is that we're not having anybody on campus but staff and students, but I will ask for sure.
Okay. All right.
So just to kind of go back, I'm going to check on the 7th grade football bags and in terms of where we might be able to house those so they're not carrying them around all day. You already got the answer to the iPad, and then asking about possible parent volunteers for supervision to allow students to go outside.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Does anyone else have any other questions or comments or thoughts that they'd like to share? Well, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
And as you all know, feel free to email any of the counselors for any questions. I think they check their email very frequently and are always quite quick to respond to the parents and kids. So if you need anything, just reach out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, I think this this finishes our first Zoom Cougar Club meeting. I hope everyone who came on board felt comfortable, and it was nice to see you all. And if we can answer any questions, please let us know. And appreciate you guys all taking out the time this morning to come on. Does anyone have anything to talk to the board or ask questions from the board? Oh, let's see here.
I wanted to say that we will be posting this to, I think, a YouTube channel. So if anybody missed it, you can go back, or you can tell other people that they can go back and watch it later. And we'll let y'all know through the newsletter how that will be distributed.
Also on the homepage.
All right. And just a quick reminder to everyone, just to make sure that everyone is registered in the membership toolkit, because that is how we send out all of our emails and our communications to everyone at Hill Country. And so, and just also note that the emails that you get from the membership toolkit is from the Cougar Club, and these are very separate emails from the updates that you get from the principal every week. So you'll probably get 2 emails, and each email may have different information. And another one other thing is, if you guys want to email me directly about any topics for future meetings or any speakers that you might be interested in, we'll be happy to explore that and do what we can to make that happen. All right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn the meeting, and thank y'all. Have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, Naveen.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks, Naveen.
Thanks, Naveen.
Bye.